Along the shores of Galveston Bay, industry and community have grown side by side for more than a century. Ships move through the harbor, rail lines cross the landscape, and thousands of people work within an industrial network most of us rarely see. But Texas City's rise as an industrial powerhouse began with something much simpler: a vision for a city, a railroad, and a port.
The Port of Texas City and the City of Texas City grew together. Back in the late 1800s, some businessmen from Duluth, Minnesota came to the area on a waterfowl hunting trip. They were sitting on the shoreline of Galveston Bay, and they had the foresight, the thought that what others before them didn't have, that the Port of Texas City area would be a great spot for a railroad, a port, and an industrial complex. So what they ended up doing was purchasing 10,000 acres of land, and they set 5,000 acres of land aside for what would become the City of Texas City, that town site, and the other 5,000 aside for the development of a port, railroad, and a commercial industrial complex. When the Port of Texas City first came into operation, the vessel traffic was primarily small boats, ferries, and inland barges serving Galveston and what would become the Gulf Intercoastal Waterway. Today, in the way of cargo, it's all liquid bulk. It's product that's in a pipeline. There used to be dry product in the port, and today only dry product is petroleum coke. But we're an energy port, and so the product comes in primarily via pipeline, stored in storage tanks, and then it's loaded or unloaded into tank ships and/or inland tank barges. But what hasn't changed over the years at the Port of Texas City is that we're privately owned and operated, and we've never taken taxpayer dollars to run the operation at the Port of Texas City. And just how we were at the very beginning as privately operated, we're still privately operated today in 2026.
When I came into this position, we moved 30 million tons. We used to move a little over 40 million. But even with the 30 million tons that we move today, we're ranked 21 in the U.S. out of 150 that are tracked by the U.S. Army Corps. Here in Texas, we're number 6. So what I want most folks to understand about the Port of Texas City, like most ports throughout the U.S., is that it's a strong economic provider throughout the state and the region here. We represent about $15 billion worth of economic benefit to the state. When you think regionally here, there's about 6,000 jobs that are created because of the port and the industries around us. Throughout the state, indirect jobs is about 36,000 throughout the state there.
That original vision transformed the shoreline and helped shape the city growing beside it. But history has a way of dividing itself into moments, before and after. For Texas City, one of those moments came on an April morning in 1947, beginning with a fire aboard a ship in the harbor.
The Texas City disaster is such an important part of Texas City's history, even, with how long it's been, about 80 years now. For a few different reasons, I'd say. One, it was the largest industrial disaster in America to this day. And just the human impact that it had, that crosses generations.
Was so strong that there was a seismograph in Denver, Colorado, that picked it up as a small earthquake. There were windows as far as Baytown, Houston, Galveston that were shattered. This was, obviously, it was a massive impact on Texas City, but it was also regionally felt, right? All 27 firemen
On April 16th, 1947, a cargo ship, a French cargo ship, the Grand Camp, was in port at the Texas City port. It was carrying roughly 2,300 tons of ammonium nitrate. Ammonium nitrate was being produced in Texas City at the time as a post-World War II effort to help rebuild agriculture in Europe. So the ammonium nitrate fertilizer was being loaded onto the Grand Camp when longshoremen saw that there was a small fire smoldering, potentially from a cigarette. That small fire continued to grow. By about 8:25 in the morning, there was a large, bright orange plume of smoke that was coming from the Grand Camp. There were many efforts to put out, very valiant efforts to put out the fire. The entire Texas City Fire Department came down to the port to help put out the fire. Volunteers from around the city showed up. Around 9 a.m., the captain of the Grand Camp actually ordered to start pumping steam into the cargo hold. The idea was to get as much moisture as possible in there. Unfortunately, steam is very hot. So the inside of the Grand Camp very quickly reached 850 degrees, which is the ignition point for ammonium nitrate. At 9:12 a.m., the Grand Camp exploded, sparking a series of fires throughout the city, as well as one other small explosion, smaller, it was not a small explosion, on the SS High Flyer. The SS High Flyer was another ship that was carrying not only ammonium nitrate, but sulfur, about 1,000 pounds of nitrate and about 2,000 tons, I should say, 2,000 tons of sulfur. The two together are very volatile. So at about 1:10 a.m. on April 17th, the High Flyer exploded, just adding to the damage of the disaster. Immediately after, it was found that roughly 581 people passed away. It impacted the entire region, all the way from Houston to Baytown to Galveston. There was efforts from police departments and fire departments as far away as San Antonio to come and aid Texas City. So it was genuinely just such a strong explosion. A clock at the City Hall service station on 6th Street in Texas City actually was stopped at exactly 9:12 a.m. So the blast was so strong it literally stopped time.
The clock stopped at 9:12. The port did not. A place can carry the weight of its past without being defined by it. And today, along the same shoreline, thousands of people work together to keep the port moving safely.
What came out of the 1947 disaster, one of the key things that came out was the industrial mutual aid system, which is in place in Texas City now. And that's where the industries, along with municipalities, got together and said, we will loan each other equipment and resources in the event you need assistance. So if you need a fire truck or you need personnel, we'll supply those to you. That's what became of that, and it's still in effect today, and it's still used today in the event there is a major incident in the Texas City area. A typical day at the Port of Texas City involves hundreds of people working in a coordinated effort around the clock. From the line handlers to the dock operators to the ship captains to the cargo inspection companies to the maintenance workers to the railroad crews. They're all working behind the scenes to make sure that the cargo is moved in and out the Port of Texas City, goes in and out daily and safely.
The Port of Texas City is a huge driver for economic development in our region. Within the last several years, the City of Texas City and the Port of Texas City have built a very strong relationship. The Port of Texas City matters because of its diplomatic position among agencies including the Galveston Texas City Pilots, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the U.S. Coast Guard, and many more. The hope of the Port of Texas City with respect to its surrounding partners is that working all of those organizations allows existing companies to operate at their highest level and to ensure that new companies do not disrupt the patterns that already exist in the port. That connectivity allows for better communication and better operation as a whole.
We're looking to invest another $100 million worth of projects in the next 2 years. Following up with that, we're working on designs, permitting, and concepts for about another $500 million worth of projects. This will include our Lamarck property, which was acquired back in 2017, along with new docks and other facilities. The future is bright here in the Texas City area, along with the region. I think what's really neat about when you think about Port of Houston, Texas City, and Galveston, we are really trying to represent the region at both the state and the federal level as far as the growth opportunities that we have in this area.
More than a century after a city, a railroad, and a port first took shape along this shoreline, that original vision is still moving forward. The cargo has changed, the industries have grown, and the lessons of the past remain part of how Texas City prepares for what comes next. Built on industry, strengthened by resilience, and connected to a region that depends on its success, the Port of Texas City remains what its founders imagined, a place built to move.